So Dallas, what's your experience watching this movie? We're talking about Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Technically, we're talking about both movies and how they relate to each other, but
Right.
specifically, we'll be probably spending more time talking about the sequel, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. So, Dallas, what's your experience watching this movie?
Um, okay. My experience was, I think I found it, let's see, it would have been maybe 1998, and I saw the original one, Excellent Adventure, on cable, and just instantly fell in love with it. I point to that as back when I was still attempting college, I was actually going to school to become a history teacher. And Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is definitely what sparked my interest as a kid in history to begin with. And then Bogus Journey, I think I begged my mom to rent from Blockbuster on VHS tape when I heard there was another one. So, yeah, would have been the late 90s, I think. But I loved Bogus Journey as much as Excellent Adventure. I haven't seen it nearly as many times though. So rewatching it the other day was there were a lot of things I had forgotten about. So it was cool to revisit it and come back and see little new things. Recognize actors who it had never clicked with me before, like who played Death was actually Haywood from Shawshank Redemption. And I never in a million years would put that together.
Nice, that's awesome. See, for me, I had never seen these movies, before prepping for this podcast. One of the joys of doing a podcast like this is kind of expose myself to new movie sequels that I haven't seen before, that I wasn't familiar with, and this film series is no exception. I watched it on HBO Max just because I have an account there already, because I got it because of the Snyder Cut, and then obviously there's a lot of other good content on there. But this also being
Mm-hmm.
included as part of that, so it was pretty convenient. I watched both of them back to back. First one, second one. I think they were different enough that I don't think I would get them confused. I mean, I know sometimes it
Mm-hmm.
might feel like one big, long, continuous kind of episodic movie in a way, or like a 3 hour movie. But I
Mm-hmm.
think both of these feel just a little bit different from each other enough where I can clearly distinguish first one from second one. So it's cool that it's easier to remember that way because of that.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then, do they have Face the Music on HBO Max? The third one?
That is a great question. I didn't watch that one just yet, but I'm not sure. It might be. I mean, if the first two are, it's probably a good bet. That
I
one probably
don't.
is.
Yeah, I don't know. I own them all on Blu-ray and DVD. So, but out of convenience, I watched on HBO Max too.
Right on. Have you watched both of them back to back before?
I have. It's been a long time since I've done that, but yeah, it does. They run together really well, and even I think it gets a lot of hate. And honestly, it took them 20 years too long to do it. But Face the Music, I think, is just as good, almost as good. For it being so long, they picked up really well, and the chemistry between Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves is just—it's like lightning in a bottle. There was no way to tell that those two were going to hit it off and have that perfect mix of chemistry like they did, but they just worked so well together. And it kind of surprises me when I think of how big Keanu got, and Alex just kind of fell by the wayside. The only other movie I can remember him in is The Lost Boys.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I guess you're right. I have not. I don't think I've seen him in anything besides this. Like, you think after this, you think
Right.
he's half of that duo. And Keanu was the one who took off, and is remembered for movies like The
Mm-hmm.
Matrix and The Replacements. Shane Falco.